Hey gamers, welcome back. So, this is actually not the first time that I've talked about this. I think this is either the second or third time I've talked about this, but I am having a hard time finding motivation, desire, whatever you want to call it, to do the Zelda project. And that is because of the fact that I am just tired all the time. Now, why am I tired all the time? I'm tired all the time because of my job. And a lot of the time after I clock out, I'm just when I clock out and I get home, I don't feel like doing anything. And a lot of the time, like in the morning before I have to go to work, I don't feel like doing anything. There are some days where I am legitimately fatigued and my body's basically screaming at me to go to bed, so I do that. And a lot of the times, the fatigue, I could like, I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I could just feel it in my head. A lot of times I feel it in my eyes. There's usually a lot of irritation in my eyes, which is, I don't really know why that's happening. My only guess is that I'm blinking less while I'm at work. I'm not getting anything in my eyes. But other than that, I don't know. I've also got this like extreme tunnel vision with my job, and I think tunnel vision is like that's like the best word I can come up with to describe it. Where basically it's not work is not the only thing I think about, but it's pretty close to being the only thing I think about. Like it consumes most of my thoughts, basically. Right now, in March has turned out to be a very busy month for me. I'm feeling a lot of the same things that I felt in August of last year. I worked almost every single day in August of last year. And for March of this year, I broke my personal record and I did 9 days in a row at work, which I'm not saying that to brag or anything. There's people that have, obviously they work every day. They work 15 hours a day, every single day. They live at the office. They live in the parking lot at their job. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is that I'm tired. This like whole like extreme tunnel vision with my job has like kind of removed my desire to do anything fun while I'm at home. And it's also unfortunately removed my desire to like do the Zelda project. And unfortunately, with the Zelda project, I can only do it at night, which is really bad in this case because for whatever reason, it's sometime after I get home is when the fatigue starts setting in, and then it just gets worse over the evening. So the fatigue just goes like, so like start like maybe here, and then it just goes up, 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 and then I just sit in my chair and I don't do anything, whether that be my chair down here or my chair upstairs. And I mean that literally when I say I do nothing. I mean, I will literally sit in my chair and stare at the walls and the ceiling and do literally, I don't scroll on my phone. I don't read. I don't watch TV. I don't play a game. I don't do any of that. Literally, I just sit there and stare at the walls and the ceiling and the floor. Most of the time, it's the walls, though. And the other thing, too, about the streams, right? So I have a self-imposed rule that I won't do streams unless it's an evening before my day off or if I have 2 days in a row off. Now, obviously, no, I guess that's not obvious to you. It's only obvious to me. That means that there's not very many opportunities to do streams because I very rarely have 2 days in a row off. So, yeah, and the other thing as well, I forgot. So for March, so I can't remember what it was. I think I did something before I did I think I did like 4 days in a row. Then I think it was 9 days in a row. Then I'm doing 6 days this week, but it was split between two sets. So I did 3 days in one set. Now I finished my first day of the second set. Then it's going to chill out after this week a little bit. I'm going to do 4 days. Then I'm going to do 5 days in a row. That 5 days in a row is now 6 days in a row because I picked up another shift. Also, for this current work week that I'm in, I am going to be breaking another personal record for the most amount of hours I've worked in one week. And it's looking like this week it's going to be 32.25. It's not the exact minute, it's a decimal. Yeah, that's going to be a few minutes more than my previous personal best. But again, none of that really matters in comparison to, the amount of hours that a full-time person works, which is 40, or some people, work more than that, particularly managers and also business owners. They basically, to my understanding, just live inside their office and their entire life is just their job. Yeah, just want to make that clear. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, it's big, it's insane. It's really not. So I'm doing one last update. Now that the week is over, the time for the week is also over. So I got my time card for this week opened in front of me, and I have 34.75 hours for this week, which I think the 0.75 equates to 45 minutes, I think. So that would be 34 hours and 45 minutes. And that is a personal best right there. It's breaking a personal best and setting a new personal best right there. So, yeah. And then I don't know what's after that because that's as far as the schedule goes out. But I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. The other thing too is that when I'm doing the Zelda project, or when I'm just like trying to work on content or whatever, unfortunately there are nights, days, periods, whatever you want to call it, where I'm working on it and I'm not completely focused on it because I'm thinking about work. And unfortunately, on my days off, there's days where I actually can't enjoy my days off because I'm thinking about work the entire time. On my days off, I have this perpetual thought playing in my head that I'm going to get called in, especially on Saturdays because I usually work every Saturday. Like there's this one shift that I normally do every single Saturday, and it's the exact same time every single Saturday. So whenever I have a Saturday off, it's like, the entire time in my head all day, I'm thinking they're going to call me in. They're going to call me in. They're going to, spinning around inside my head all day long. They're going to call me in. They're going to call me in. They're going to call me in. And that's all I think about on Saturday when I end up having that day off, which really sucks. And I actually have this upcoming Saturday off, and I can't remember if it's the next one or the one after that I have off too. The worst part of all this is that I still have like a desire to do the Zelda project. Although it's been diminished, I still have a desire to do it. I don't really have the energy to do it most of the time, most days. And unfortunately, I don't really have a solution for the fatigue. More sleep doesn't really seem to be doing it. And I can't like physically work my body less. If there was a way of doing that, I would absolutely do that, but there's not a way of doing that, unfortunately. I am trying to make it less mentally fatiguing, though. Some days that works, most days doesn't, but that is what it is. The only thing on the docket right now, there's actually only two things on the I mean, assuming we're going to exclude the whole, the plan, but it's not a plan. Assuming we're going to exclude the whole list of stuff left for the Zelda project, the two current things right now are the 5 years on YouTube video, which I'm not actually going to do anything for. You'll just see the day of. And the Ocarina of Time 3D review. And something else I've been wanting to do is I've been wanting to upgrade this camera. And I wanted to buy a new camera, an independent... well, I mean, I guess this counts as an independent camera. I wanted to buy a new camera and a tripod for it. And I'm also probably gonna have to buy a cord and probably an adapter and dummy battery and all that. I wanted to buy that and I haven't done it yet. I've barely done any research. I don't even know what I want yet. I told myself the entirety of last year I was going to do that, and I didn't do that. I totally forgot. So, like, something I've been feeling, I guess, with me doing so many days in a row, I've been feeling a lot of the same things that I was feeling in August, and I didn't actually finish my thought on that. The things that I have been feeling was that, like, I can't remember what day of the week I'm on. I can't remember what shift I'm doing today. I don't remember what time I'm getting off. I don't remember what tomorrow's shift is. I can't really remember yesterday. I can't remember last week. I don't remember what I'm doing next week or the week after that. I'm basically doing almost the same thing every single day. So that's why it just all feels mixed together. And months, feel mixed together too. It's like, yeah, I think that happened this month. I think. Maybe that was last month. I don't remember. Unfortunately, there's also the constant, I wonder if I'm going to end up staying later today. I wonder if I'm going to end up going in earlier today. I wonder if I'm going to get called in tomorrow, and make it more days in a row. If I didn't have, like, was it this Tuesday or last Tuesday? I think it was this Tuesday. If I didn't have this Tuesday off, I would have broken my personal record again and end up doing 11 days in a row. And, as insane as it sounds, I actually was kind of wishing that they were going to call me in on Tuesday so I could break my personal record again. So, yeah, but, it's whatever. However, I will say, I don't have a problem with doing, however many days in a row or doing 9-hour shifts, 9.5-hour shifts. I don't have a problem with that. Doing however many days in a row, doing however many hour shifts. I don't have a problem doing any of that. I like doing that. It leaves me no energy to do anything else after I'm done, which includes doing the Zelda project. That's what I want to explain. I don't have a solution to the fatigue. I've basically been looking for that for a year now. And so far, the only thing I've tried, and seemingly what the only solution seems to be, was to get more sleep, but that's not really doing it. So I don't know yet. Maybe I'll figure out, maybe I won't. I don't know. The other thing too is I guess I'm like holding it in while I'm at work. I don't know why I can't just continue to hold it in after I clock out. I think I need to figure that out. Maybe that's the solution. I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm gonna be done now, so that I can maybe post this today. Today being March 18th, 2026, 8:24 p.m. Eastern Time. Actually, one more thing before I end the video. The other thing too is that I have a lot of anxiety and stress. Those two things kind of go hand in hand with each other. I have a lot of anxiety and stress about my job, unfortunately. The most recent thing being management changes. My previous two managers got transferred in August of last year, which I know was like 6 or 7 months ago now, but I really miss them, especially my assistant. He was the best boss I've had at my job, and possibly the best boss I'm going to ever have in my life. Then maybe it's too early for me to be saying that he was the best boss I'll ever have in my life, but I think at the very least he is going to be the best boss that I will have at my current job, and I miss him a lot. And now, I have two, my department assistant managers have been replaced, but now Friday, my assistant manager is going to be stepping down and will be gone and will be transferred to a different location. So that was, nice anxiety spike as well. I was starting to chill out from the management changes in like January or February. And now I'm going to be worried about the new manager. And also, I learned, I think it was 2 days ago now, it might have been 3 days ago, that the general operations manager is resigning. So, yeah, his last day is going to be in a little less than a month. If he didn't resign, he would have been transferred, obviously, at some point, because that's just the norm in the industry I work in, that they like to transfer the management to different locations every year. And I also had a lot of stress and anxiety about a corporate inspection that was done, I think, was it this month or last month? I can't remember. Anyways, I had a lot of stress and anxiety about that because of course, I was the guy that was picked to be there the day beforehand, the day of. So, yeah, that was stressful, those 2 days. But, anyways, you get what I'm saying. That's adding to the mental fatigue. I think now I'm gonna be done with the video. So yeah. Anyways, that's about it. See ya and bye bye.